Okay, so my name is Jerica, and I'm Laura's team together. We're arguing that the death penalty should not be abolished, and that we should either reform how it is currently or continue to keep it in place. Against the affirmative team's first claim that it's against human rights and that there's a universal declaration that gives life to live. I argue that this is true for anyone, including the victims, and so the victims didn't have this choice. Why should the perpetrator, was not who was not correct at the first place, be allowed a choice to live when the victim did not? Um, Secondly, the opponent team said that that the the possibility of executing people wrong. In 1973, you stated there were 90 death row people that were set free after the DNA evidence proved that they were right. Well, that's the purpose of the lengthy appeals process, and I know that it takes a long time, a very long time for the appeals process to go through. But that's the purpose of having it in place, so that way we can correct the system as we go. Very few does it happen that an innocent person is actually convicted, and the people that are let go, the 90 death row that were set free that you quoted, is much higher than the statistics of the innocent people that were killed. So I believe that our appeals process is correct in being in its place and why it is the way it is. I also want to talk about what you said, that there's no conclusive evidence for deterrence, that the death penalty does not show deterrence. I want to argue that it doesn't matter whether deterrence is real or not. It's the fact that the public believes there is, and therefore the public wants the death penalty in place, and the public has a place to say whether it is here or not, because it is a trial by a jury of peers, so it's up to the public to determine whether they want it or not. I want to read to you a quote from social justice research done in 2006. Okay. Thomas, who is a major proponent of the deterrence model, has shown strong evidence for the relationship between deterrence beliefs, which is general and specific, and the death penalty support. More recent empirical work has also shown that support for the death penalty is strongly associated with the belief in its deterrent effects, even among prison inmates. So meaning that it doesn't matter whether deterrence is a factor or not. If people believe that it does, then they will support the death penalty, and the people of the United States have a right in what the death penalty happens. I want to make a point that the reason why the American people has a sway, I want to read to you a quote from the Social Forces Journal. Public values can be expected to have more influence in societies where social policy is not decided by unelected experts. The relationships between public images of crime and punishment should be more substantial in a directly democratic policy like the United States, when courts make decisions about such an intensely moralistic issue. Meaning that the people have a right to say, when it comes down to these moral issues, whether they think that this is right or not. Whether the people of the U.S. is correct or not, it doesn't matter. It's what the people of the United States want. And it's the public opinion, the majority that will determine what happens.